right, should be a really interesting design day today because we're going to be working on the chassis. So for the chassis design, I'm referencing this rock bouncer cage from a builder called Angry Fab Designs. I think it's really cool looking the way that all these tubes are curved and there's no straight edges. And I also like that the seats are leaned way far back. So I'm referencing a design from Angry Fab, which is a rock bouncer builder. And what I really like about those designs is there's a lot of curves and there's no straight lines on the profile of the vehicle. So that's what I'm going to try to emulate. And I'm starting with this subassembly for the chassis, which contains all of the mounting points for the hardware for the suspension, and then making that first arc around the driver and the passenger. And so what I'm ultimately going to end up doing is a 3D sketch. But first I want to start with a side profile sketch so that I can reference the 3D sketch off of that and keep as many components of the sketch constrained as possible. So the important thing for this design is that it's sort of egg-shaped because a sphere is the strongest shape in any given direction. And if I have curves all over the place, encapsulating the cabin and tying the suspension components together, it will be strong anytime it rolls in any direction. And it also makes it look really cool. So once I have those top arcs, I can define the side arcs to encapsulate the envelope of the cabin on the lateral side. And I just have these big sweeping lines all interconnected in places that make sense so that the point loads all intersect. The other thing that I'm being really careful about is that each of the curves are different radiuses, but they're all round numbers in inches. And anywhere possible, I try to make them round up to the nearest foot. And the reason for that is when I'm bending these tubes, I don't want any weird fractional bend radiuses. I want all the bend radiuses to be as close as possible to a nearest foot so that the fabrication can be a lot easier. And so I'm interconnecting all these arcs in a way that makes sense where they're sort of tangent to each other where they can, and trying to avoid compound radiuses wherever I can so that each piece that's cut is just one radius throughout. And then you only have to worry about the length of that piece and then the coping in between the interconnects.